Okay there. So finally off work, finally have a chance to do this video. A lot of people asking how I set up my ice shack, my flip over shack for ice fishing. Um, I have a Clam Yukon XL ice team. Love this thing. It's awesome. It's roomy. I've had it for a couple years. I the whole ice team, all it is just a color. That's all it is to me. Yes, the ice team does come with the light and the bracket for the battery. I don't even use the bracket for the battery. The light is the best benefit of the ice team, in my opinion. The color is awesome. However, Black Friday this year, they had the replacement covers for all of the Yukons on sale for $100. I grabbed the 40th anniversary Yukon. I got two of them. They are going to get modified. It is the same setup as that, or color combo. Dave Gents, 40th anniversary. That is the fish trap. What is that? The Scout XL. You can see the size comparison between the Scout and the Yukon. It's quite taller, and it's about three of those wide almost. Maybe two and a half, somewhere in there. Dual doors. Love how you can put them into the middle, have it open. You can even open them a little bit more, have them even more in the middle, which might as well just do for this video just to make it easier. Boom. There you go. Now you've got half door. You can do the same thing on that side. You do have the back access. Going around the front, you see some little shiny things. These are grommets. They're just the galvanized basic ones off Amazon or Home Depot. I don't even really remember where I got them. Any grommet will work. I am going to get some better quality ones in the future for the new covers, and I'm going to have to sew some squares of some thicker fabric, maybe some whatever, something like this, something thicker is going to go where each grommet goes, and then I'll put the new grommets in. For this front one, while we're up here, this is the S2B anchors. This is their front mount. It's very simple. It's just a bar with a bend. You can make it yourself. I don't mind supporting small businesses, so I went ahead and bought it. I think they designed a great product. They saved me the hassle of having to pull out my oxyacetylene and bend stuff and get it perfect. That first grommet in the middle goes straight through. I have no issue going straight through my foam floor. You can see right there. Holds the skirt down. I'll do the middle one, then I'll pull it out. I'll do the side one. I'll do the other side one, and then I'll do the two in the back. Around the back of the shanty, it also has the rear mounts. They are hub specific or flip over specific, so make sure you get the ones that are for you. I believe they were specific. I put mine up high enough that they won't just fall out. You do have to lift it up just a hair, and then you can pull it out. They don't really melt the ice at all on a hot sunny day. If you are worried about it, honestly, you could throw a little piece of a foam tile under it, keep a couple squares of like 6x6s, and just, wedge it underneath, bolt it down. You don't have to worry about it. But they are sturdy. I've had this shack in 40 plus mile an hour winds before, and it did not budge at all. So that's pretty much, well, let's see. We've got, for other extras on the outside, I did do eyelets with a carabiner for a rope. I run a longer, like 15-foot rope. Having these eyelets with the carabiners, I can use this to pull and load into the bed of my truck. I use an ATV ramp, a single one. I still have my mounts for my hitch when I'm running behind one of my machines, either the snowmobile or the track sled. I have the rear mount on it as well from Clam. This thing is a beast. That is a very strong rear mount. I hands down to them. Clam, you did a good job. For all of my jet sleds, I run the digger. Digger hitches and rear hitches. For the diggers, that is the diggers. Comes together like that. I don't have one in here. They're all outside at the moment. Here's part of it. So digger, universal hitches. These are awesome. They're aluminum, they're sturdy, they're stable, they work really well. So on to the inside. Obvious is the floor. Pardon me. Floor is just a trifold. Do it yourself. It's 6 tiles, Flex Seal tape or RV underlayment tape. Has to have some flex to it. It unfolds in 2 seconds and it folds back up in 2 seconds. It doesn't freeze down to the ice. The 1/2 inch is more than warm enough. It fits width to width, either on top of everything closed down, or I'll leave it open. I'll put all my gear in, fold the seats down, lay it on top, then I'll shut everything. It's just personal preference, whatever's easier or however you're packing up for the day. So that's that. I've got it run. No holes here, obviously, because it's for your feet. My center hole is usually for my live scope, or whatever I'm running. If I'm running flashers, there's holes in the corner as well. If I want to leave the live scope mounted on the sled or the track sled, I'll run a Vexlar there and drill another hole. Run 5. But typically I usually have that because I've got my kids with me. They like to watch, the fish coming in. We always enjoy seeing who's going to spot the first pike swimming underneath us, because they're real fun to see on a live scope because they're huge. But yeah, very simple. I keep my heater off the ground with one of these Trichology backpacking aluminum fold up, whatever they're called, tables. The thing weighs less than a pound, less than maybe 1/2 pound, if that, or even 1/4. They're very lightweight. It takes up about the same length as that, and maybe that much width. It doesn't take up any room. It's very simple. It keeps your heater off the ground, keeps the ice from melting. Honestly, I think it keeps it warmer. Get yourself one of these fans, or a fan up on the ceiling. It doesn't matter. Just get a fan. I like these because it's direct right at the heat source. It's immediately pushing that heat straight towards me. I'll crank that thing on high for about 2 minutes. This shack is nice and warm in 10-degree weather within 10 to 15 minutes. I mean, it really starts to warm up quick. Very good if you have little ones. Single supports all the way around. It does have the Clam light. Sorry if that is very bright. Typically I have that ran. I will throw my ionic lithium 125 amp hour heated battery under here. It typically is in my boat throughout the open water season, and then hard water season it goes in here. Right now I've just got this because I need to clean this shack out. We were using it for past couple weeks, and it is dirty. But normally it'll go right here. It fits right underneath the Clam tray. I haven't wired anything hardwire yet. I do plan on doing something in the future, but for now, when I'm not using it, I just roll the cord back up into the factory bag, and it's just fine. You see these 2 trays on the sides. These are Arc Lab. Same brand as this shuttle. I've got mounts for my boat. I've got mounts for my shacks. I've got mounts for my track sled. Arc Lab is hands down, in my opinion, the leader in shuttles. I don't care if it's open water or hard water. They know what they're doing. They're tried and true. They're expensive, but they're durable and they're worth it. Don't have anything really negative to say about them. These are the bee's knees though. You can put them facing out, or you can swap them, put this one over there and that one over here, and push it on the inside. I like them facing out. Pushes my fabric out. I get room, I can put my mug here. It sits right between. I can keep my rods out of my way. I can put some tools here, some forceps, you know, some tweezers, line cutters, whatever. And I can keep everything nice and out of the way. I do have some clamp on, like, you know, tip down rod holders that I'm looking at getting, that I will probably get and clamp on here, so I can just, you know, have a couple here for use, have one here to tip down and use. Let's see, what else do we have? The seats are Amazon gaming chairs. Yeah, I had to go with the blue. I might have to swap out for red and black. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. These are in great shape, though. I've had them in here for about 2 years straight. They fold surprisingly flat. I think they take up less height than the factory clam chairs. They are much bigger. However, it doesn't really affect anything. I can still, when I pack up, that fits right here. The heater goes underneath. The shuttle goes on top of my track sled or on the Monster Otter box on my snowmobile. Rod locker goes down. Everything else gets packed in nice and tight. It works great. Granted, this thing is heavy when it's fully loaded with gear for going out for the day. Typically, I have a track sled. I got nerve damage. I got a bunch of issues. I'm in the trades. You know, work smarter, not harder, right? That's a motto to live by. For the floor, there is foam underneath this. It's just the same tile. I took 2 or 3 of these, trimmed them a little bit, laid them down, and put a doormat. No different than that one, just a little bit bigger. It just keeps things quieter from rattling around. It's not necessary. Do you need it? No. But it covers all of the bolts for the Hyfax kit, and it also covers the bolts for the carbides. I have same carbides that you would put on the bottom of a snowmobile. I have taken and put underneath that. I actually have some right here. So, in case anyone is wondering, that is a snowmobile carbide. What I did is I cut it here because obviously it has a bend to it. So I just cut it and I heated it up just a little bit and straightened them, and then just bolted 2 of them down. The carbide is quite literally just a nice little sharp piece of metal in between. I threw it on the bottom portion of the 2 outermost right in the middle. It keeps it so that when I'm behind that track sled, you know, I run 2 sleds. I have the track, then I have the one I'm standing in with my kid or anybody else or some extra gear. Then I have one for gear, and then I have this. So when I'm running that, I'm running 3 sleds. When I'm in the snowmobile, it's just this. So, you know, to each their own. I personally think on glare ice, which we get a lot here in northern Illinois, versus the snow cover that you'd get up in northern Wisconsin, in the Northwoods, or Minnesota, or Michigan. Having it with the glare ice, those carbides are a great addition. If you look at the rear, you can see, as anybody who has a Clam would know, it usually only has 1. The hole's still there. I just drilled 2 more. Very simple. This is my little rod locker setup that I made. It's Schedule 40 PVC. There's the original hole. I just drilled 2 matching holes and got extra. This is not glued together. That wasn't supposed to happen, but once it's in, it's not going anywhere. I'm not sitting here beating on this thing the whole time. It's just there to support it. It works. Is it the most durable thing in the world? No. These rod lockers don't really weigh that much. The Eagle Claw is fairly light. The Otter Pro Box, they're bigger, it's deeper, it's heavier. That one I haven't tried. I do have one, but I haven't tried it yet. Typically, this is the one I bring because it's got my kids' rods in it. The Otter is typically just for me when I'm solo. 10-inch Eskimo E40 auger. I just use the little hooks up on the pole. It holds my auger just fine. When the door is closed, it pushes it in just ever so slightly, so I'll tuck it like that. And it keeps it up. It keeps the heat on it, so the battery stays nice and dry and warm, and I don't lose any charge. I keep my tip downs up here, or my spare tip downs. You know, it's a 6-bag. It keeps some extra whatever. My jacket, my rod stands. Just works for me. I saw a couple guys make them online. I was like, man, that is a clever idea. It's just a good way to keep your rod locker off the ground, you know. Now I could throw some trash bag into their food, whatever. It just makes it a little bit easier. When I'm sitting here, I can just turn and it's right there. Not to mention, it'll slide over and I can run my 20-pound propane tank if I'm going to be out for longer. Typically, I just run a 5 and I run the hose along the side to the heater. Right now, I've just got the hose tied up because I'm not running. I got that thing running. It is currently 80 degrees in here and I am dying. I'm about to turn that off. So, get some clips for your windows with the new cover that I'm going to be putting on. I am trying to think of a design to sew some snapbacks, some Velcro. I'm not sure. I got to think of something. Jiffy on the 980s that they came out with and the 6 whatevers, the new hub they came out with Jiffy, they have a sleeve on the bottom of their windows that once you fold it, it goes into the sleeve. Might add a piece of fabric there just to sleeve that and hide it in there. Haven't decided. Gonna brainstorm with that idea a little bit. Other than that, you can watch, I'll make a second video that's gonna go over how I have this set up for solo camping as one person, but I'm not a pro YouTuber by any means. I'm a journeyman lineman. I love to fish. So this is not my job doing YouTube videos. I think this is the 3rd or 4th one I think I've ever made in my life. Just made this purely to be able to show everybody how this is done. Like, share, comment, question, concern. Let me know. Have a good one, guys. Enjoy.